Alright, so I figured I'd make this little video so you could follow along and learn how to do this for the future. So this is very basic. We're just going to have two states. We're going to have your sequences for when the blade is off and when the blade is on. Currently this is what you have, okay? It's really wrapped. The color sequence you can see here on the right, this is really the guts of what's happening. It's wrapped inside a style pointer which has a beginning like this and an end like that. If we click on the right here, those just go away and we're left with just the guts. Okay, so let's just work with that, and then we're going to wrap it up at the end back inside the style pointer so that it can work in a preset. Alright, so the guts, here's what we got. 500 milliseconds is the time. Okay, what you want to do, I'm just going to copy this so I have it in my clipboard. Alright, you can go here to layers, right? And you go to, actually let's do this. Let's go to examples and go to layers, this last one here. This is a basic, and then you can drag this corner so you can see more stuff. This is a basic style, okay? And it's got all this other stuff built in. You may want to leave this, but you can come back to it and do it again later. For basic purposes, the base of this example is a red blade. When we turn it on, it's just plain red. Okay, so that's our base layer, it's our base main color. And then all these other layers on top are your lockup and lightning block and melt. So you see them all here in the list? That's what these are. Clash, when you do clash, this is what happens when you do clash. So if you get rid of lockup, lightning, melt, drag, blast, dig, stab. Okay, I'm going to take all this, I'm going to hit delete. Now it's gone. I'm going to submit that. And you see on the right side, the guts of this thing just got much smaller. Now we have a very, very basic style. This is going to, it turns on and off, okay, because now, unlike your first, how do I duplicate this tab? Duplicate tab. Your first instance of this thing, you just had this, okay? So this is just on all the, well, it shouldn't be doing that. I didn't submit. Hold on. Here you go. So this is just on, off, doesn't matter. This is what you've got. It's just doesn't matter if your blade's on or off. You've got one thing every 500 milliseconds. It's going to the next color in the sequence. So what we want to do is use the in-out transition layer to give us some control. This has what happens when it's on, what's off, and that's what gives us our extension and retraction animation there. That's the TR wipe. That's wiping. It's a wipe transition of 300 milliseconds, allowing you to see the base color. It's wiping away the black. Okay, and what you're not seeing here written, this is a little tricky. See, this color went off. It says black. What you're not seeing in the written part of a style is that black, because it's like a default value. And by default, when it's black, it doesn't actually get written out. It can. It goes right here. Look, 500, we have a closing bracket, we have a comma. This just means it's a comment and it's ignored. So closing bracket, comma, black, comma, 1. You don't even need the 1 in there either. We're going to do comma, black, and hit submit. Notice how nothing changes, because this is exactly the same as not having black there. It's just omitted by default. Problem being, you need to kind of look at it in here to realize that, and that you can change, let's make this green. The color went off to something else. So when you turn off the blade, now instead of black, it's giving us green. So there is now it'll show you spring green because it's not the default value of black, okay? So there's an extra placeholder here that's not normally visible. So that's kind of important, because that is where we're gonna stick. I'm gonna select that spring green like this, and I can change it, or if you look at the whole style, you can just select that. I'm gonna paste, no, that's not what I wanted to do, because I just want the guts without the wrapper. Okay, this is what I wanted to copy. Back to this one. We're going to stick, instead of spring green for the color went off, your color sequence. And I'm going to submit that. So now when the blade is off, it's doing your color sequence. And then when you turn the blade on, it's going to do, here we go, got to select the whole thing to show it. It's going to do, well, we don't want red, and you don't necessarily want this wipe. So what we're going to change is the red. So now I'm going to make red, not the comma, your color sequence again, but we want that one to be a little faster. Let's make it twice as fast, shall we? So we'll make that 250. Okay, so when it's on, you'll notice now it's blinking quicker. Turn it off, it's blinking slower. But we still have those fades, that kind of wipe thing happening there. It's kind of weird. We don't want wipes. We just want to get rid of this TR wipe. You can just click here, just make it TR instant. You just immediately want to go, when we turn it on and turn it off, from one state to the other. So that's it. We just changed our base color to be your color sequence with a faster millisecond, and we changed the color went off from the hidden black to your color sequence of the original speed. Maybe you even want that slower, but you just change these millisecond values to what you want. And when you look at this whole thing, there it is. So we turn it off and it's back to slow. Now again, this is one style out of your 3. So the other one, for LED 2, white is in the second slot. So it's going to go bing, 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 nothing. Bing, 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 nothing. Bing, 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 nothing. Down the line, each one is going to play at its correct time. So for each of the 3 blade styles, you want to change it from what you had to this. And then the last piece is to wrap it back up in that style pointer so you can stick it in your preset. So when you hit copy here in the style editor, this copy button, see, it wraps up nicely for you. It adds the ending and it adds this beginning to your style. Okay, so if you want to put it all back together, you can just leave it like this, and then you can copy that and stick it in your preset and then repeat for the next one. So let's do that, shall we? One more time, nice and easy. I'm going to copy this because this is what you had. I'm going to paste it in here, and here we are back to this, a wrapped up thing with guts. We're going to take the guts only. We're going to copy that. We're going to go to examples. We're going to pick layers. We're going to delete everything that's not the base and the in-out. And we're going to submit that. And then for the base, I'm going to just replace red with this color sequence with a faster milliseconds. Submit. I'm going to go to the in-out transition layer here. I'm going to swap out these TR wipes. You can either just edit it here. Don't miss that comma, but you can make this TR instant. Oh, I already had the TR. It's the danger of typing it by hand. You can also just, and then submit. See, it changed it over here. You can also, beauty of the style editor, just click over here and it gives you that value by itself. And these preset buttons change it instantly. So that's another way to do it. And then again, we have that hidden black, which goes right in between these braces, this bracket. But we're just going to paste, because we got that color sequence in our clipboard. Submit, and you see how color went off, changed to your original. That's it. And then you just copy that. It wraps it up, it copies it to your clipboard. You go to your preset, wherever that is, and you paste it, and